Hello and welcome to Straight Talk, No Chaser, because our health matters. So now what do we do? Now what do we eat? Now that we've learned that the majority of our food that we purchase for consumption is inundated with chemicals, dyes, processed chemicals, things that can make us so sick and so unhealthy. Now that we realize the importance of reading the back of the box, reading the ingredients, understanding that if things are preserved on the shelf for a long period of time, more than likely it has more chemicals in it in order for that food to be preserved. And if I ingest those chemicals, my body has to fight so hard to try to figure out what to do with it. So now that we realize that a lot of our food is processed, now the question remains, so now what do we do? What do I eat? How do I change my diet? I don't know what to do now. I don't know what foods to select. Thank you for asking. The very first thing we need to do is we need to start consuming more water. Our bodies are 2/3 water. 2/3 of our body is made up of water. Not iced tea, not coffee, not milk, not juice, definitely not sodas. Water. So in order for the body to function, it absolutely needs what is necessary to function. Water. I cannot put soda in my gas tank and expect my car to run. It is not going to happen. This body is a machine and it needs certain things to function. And the biggest thing that it needs is water. I can't consume sodas and teas and sugary drinks and expect the body to function. So we have to start consuming water. How much water do we consume in the course of a day, somebody asked? Let me tell you, the best place to start is what's always been recommended, 8 glasses of water a day. 8-ounce glasses of water a day. And the best way to consume that within a 24-hour period is to do 2 glasses in the morning, 2 glasses mid-morning, 2 glasses afternoon, 2 in the evening, and 2 more later on at night. Yes, I know it'll probably keep you going to the bathroom, but your kidneys are going to say thank you so much for keeping them clean and healthy and flushed and functioning. Your organs are going to thank you so much for keeping them flushed and functioning. So we have to start consuming water. We cannot get away from that. A lot of people say, oh, I don't like the way water tastes. Well, you know what? It's time for you to grow up when it comes to what you desire, because it's not so much of what it tastes like, but what it does for you. We can no longer walk around with an elementary attitude about, I don't like it because it's nasty, it doesn't taste good, it has no flavor. That's not the point. That's what little children do. As adults, we need to understand that this is what my body needs, so this is what I must consume. So we have to start with water. The next thing that we have to do, since 60% of our diets are made up of processed food, we need to now substitute that and replace that with a plant-based diet. 90% of what we consume should be plant-based. Plant-based. What is plant-based? I hear this terminology all the time. I'm not sure what that means. Plant-based is whatever grows out of the ground. It is the food that was put on this earth, that God put on this earth for us to consume, to keep these bodies, these machines functioning. Plant-based is your vegetables. So many adults, once again, have this very elementary attitude when it comes to consuming vegetables. I don't like it. They taste nasty. I don't know what to eat. I don't like green stuff. I don't like the way it looks. We have to get past that attitude and understand it's not always what tastes good to me, but what is good for me. Vegetables are the main source of what these bodies need in order to function. That's where we get all of our minerals and our vitamins. All of those nutrients that the body needs to function effectively come from plant-based food. So we have to increase our vegetable intake. The majority of your meals that you consume in the course of a day, if you look at your plate, the majority of your meals should be vegetables. In addition to vegetables, we have grains, we have nuts, we have seeds, we have oats, we have all of those things that the earth provides for us in order to keep these machines functioning. So we need to consume more vegetables. We have to. We have to do that. So now we have water, we have vegetables, and we have to understand that the best way to start eliminating, or the best way to start replacing what we already consume with what we really need, is to try to stay away from any food that's processed, bleached, or comes in a white type of color. Sugar, salt, flour, bread, rice, pastas. All of those foods, by the time it gets to the grocery store, they have been so bleached and so stripped of all of its nutrients that now when we're consuming it, all it does is it increases our blood sugars instantaneously and adds no nutritional value to what our bodies really need. So we need to eliminate all of the foods that by the time they get to your plate are now this white starchy color. White sugar, replace it with brown sugar. White flour, replace it with whole wheat flour. White pastas, replace it with vegetable pasta. White bread, replace it with a whole grain, multi-grain bread. We need to start replacing the foods that's killing us for the foods that will give us life. So then you say, but when I go to the grocery store, that's all I see. All I see are these colorful boxes of food with all of these chemical ingredients on the back. Good question. So what we need to do when we go to the grocery store, shop on the perimeter aisles of the grocery store. That's all the aisles that are on the outsides of the grocery stores. That's where you're going to find the majority of your plant-based foods, your vegetables, your healthier grain breads, your brown sugars. All of those things are found on the perimeter of the grocery store. And it's designed specifically that way so people can be lured into the inner aisles. But what we need to do is take the design that they've used to lure us into the inner aisles and use it for our advantage. We need to use that design for our advantage and our benefit. So when I understood that there was a specific design to how grocery stores set their stores up to lure us into the inner aisles to buy all of those foods that are processed, because those foods keep us addicted. So once I realized that, then I said, well, I need to take this design and use it for my good. And understand that all of the fresh fruits and vegetables are all on the perimeter parts of the grocery stores. So now I have to start making my menu based off of what's on the outskirts of the grocery store and not get lured into that inner part of the grocery store, because that's where the addictive chemical processed food is. And it is by design. And if I know that someone designed something for my demise, then I have to understand that I have to use that design for my good. So start shopping on the perimeters of the grocery store. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds, that's all located on the outside of the aisles of the grocery stores. Then you ask, well, what about when I go to a restaurant? We get inundated by the menus and the advertisements of supersize Add $2 more and you get an extra large fries. Give me another $1 and I'll give you 2 hamburgers instead of 1. You go into restaurants and they lure you in with these 20-ounce and 25-ounce steaks, hamburgers, big mouth hamburgers, and double layered hamburgers. All of these tactics that are used to lure us in. So when I understood that the healthier options at a restaurant on the menus are all located on the side orders. If you look at the side orders, you can build your own meal. And of course you say, well, I don't want to go to a restaurant to eat side orders. I can stay at home and do that. And that's fine, you can. But once you understand that these things are designed for our demise through addiction, then we have to understand that we have to use the design for our own advantage and for our good. So when we go to a restaurant, look at the side orders, go to the healthier option part of the menu and build your own meal. Be in control of what it is that you consume. Just because it's offered doesn't mean that you have to eat it. So we have to understand that. We have to understand that that design in a restaurant is to lure us in and to keep us addicted to the foods that are high in fat and salt and sugar. But I don't have to give into that design. I understand it now. And I can still go out and have a great time with friends and family, but I can also make healthier options and choices when it comes to what I consume. So we have to fight back. We have to grow up when it comes to our food selection choices and desires. We have to do that. It is time out for using the excuse that I don't like the way it tastes, I don't like the way it looks, because what difference does it make what the food looks like if you're in your casket? What difference does it make how ugly the food look when you're laying in your casket? Because of an untimely death, because of choices that we made. It is time. It is time to start making healthier choices. I am so thankful and so grateful for all of the comments and the questions that you all are putting on Facebook, that you all are emailing us, because now we understand what we need to do. We will no longer be a product of someone's design for our demise. We will now understand that I will eat to live and not choose to die. So hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on the website with your questions, your ideas, your thoughts. Let's keep this interaction going because our health matters. God bless.